Kind loving spirit is flowing through me now. Kind loving spirit is flowing through me now. Kind loving spirit is flowing through me now. I am that spirit. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. I am that spirit. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. My loving spirit is flowing through me now. I am that spirit. I am that spirit. I am that spirit.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today at Unity of Bremerton Online. We're happy to have you with us. Today, our guest speaker and guest musician doing double duty is Reverend Michael Gregory. Let's have another song.
I got my guitar shrunk. Okay, anyway. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is well.
Thank you, Michael. And now is the time for the lighting of the Christ candle. This candle represents the divine light within each of us. And our mission statement: we are a welcoming community supporting our mutual quest for spiritual truth. And our invocation statement of faith: there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence.
Like a sunbeam to the sun, I am one with God. Like a wave upon the ocean, I son. I am one with God, like a wave upon the ocean. I am one with God. 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 I am one with God.
Thank you, Michael. All right, today's daily word in honor of our dear Marilyn. Pray for others. I affirm truth for everyone I hold in prayer. I am honored by the trust people place in me when they ask for prayer support. As I pray for others, I see each one for whom I pray as divine and know the truth that each one is a living expression of God. My purpose in prayer is not to focus on the particulars of a situation, but to hold a higher view. As I center in prayer, I hold the vision that all challenging circumstances are moving toward a satisfying resolution in one way or another. I release all thoughts about the situation that prompted the prayer need and focus on the activity of God. As I pray, I see the life, the love, the wisdom, and the power of God at work, healing, strengthening, and establishing peace in all those for whom I pray. From Philippians 1, verses 3-4, I thank my God every time I remember you, constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you. Today's daily word, pray for others. And in Unity Happenings, next Sunday, August 2nd, yes, I said August 2nd, is Reverend Charlotte Manning. She's contacted us and has spoken to a number of unities, and she'll be talking about the 7 steps of forgiveness. So I hope you will join us for that. And we just continue on the online trek until we're allowed to do otherwise. So stay strong. And we'll have another song here from Michael.
Plant your feet on Mother Earth and keep your eyes on the skies above. Every day there will be new birth. In every way you will know God's love. Spirit soars like a bird so high, the wind is lifting you free. Love will carry you by and by if you simply let yourself be. Let yourself be what you truly are. Let yourself be, you can fly so far. Let yourself be, you'll know it's true. What God created in you. There is no way to prove God's love. Accepting it's all you must do. Gave you life and a heart of love, and all He asks is for you. Let yourself be what you truly are. Let yourself be, you can fly so far. Let yourself be, you will know it's true. What God created, He gave for you. Let yourself be what you truly are. Let yourself be, you can fly so far. Let yourself be, you will know it's true. What God created, He gave for you. What God created, He gave for you. What God created. All right. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Bremerton. It's Sunday morning. Okay, so if you're awake and watching this, we're going to have one heck of a good time, I guess. All right. So what I'd like to talk about today is the fifth unity principle, which is it is not enough to understand the spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. So I'm going to be asking you some questions a little bit later. So a little introduction here on this. So the 5 principles, I'm going to go over them again so that we know what they are. God is all there is and present everywhere. This is the force of love and wisdom that underlines all of existence. Number 2, human beings are divine at their core and therefore inherently good. Number 3, thoughts have creative power to determine events and attract experiences. Number 4, prayer and meditation keep us aligned with the one great power in the universe. And 5, it is not enough to understand spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. So how do we live the truth we know? I'm going to be asking you later, so just stick around for a few minutes here. I don't know, maybe you guys could text or something to do this. I have a question I want to ask you guys. How about let's do it this way. There's only how many people on here today? Looks like 3 or 4. So I would like to know how long you have been with Unity. I guess that'd be the quickest way to do this. Maybe you could just text it or whatever, chat it.
Michael, we can unmute everyone so that they can speak and share.
Oh, that'd be great. Let's do that.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to send that out. And then also, if people would like to share their video, we're going to make this a nice casual chat.
Yes, we're going to be talking together a little bit here, so kind of back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, interactive.
Right. Oh, there's Nora. I see Nora. I see Morris.
Wait,
Hey, what's going on there, guys?
wait, there we go. Okay.
So, Morris, how long have you been with Unity now?
Let's see. I first started going to Unity Church back east in the middle 1970s.
Okay, so that's a long time. Yeah.
Right. When I lived in just across the river from New York City, I worked there in the early 70s.
Okay. How about Nora? I can't hear you, sweetie.
Yeah, we don't hear you, Nora.
Unmute her.
Unmute? Oh, she's got to unmute herself. There should be a way to unmute yourself on your computer there on the screen there somewhere. Lower left corner, little microphone. No, she's not hearing me.
Oh, she's trying.
Nope.
Bless you.
Ask Cindy.
I'm unmuted. Okay. I can't hear you. I don't know why. How about Mary Ellen?
Oh, I think I've been with Unity about a little over 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. And Cindy?
Oh, it's only been a little over 4 years now.
4. Okay. So,
And about
Marcia as
6
well?
for me. This
What's
is
that?
Laura.
Oh, okay. Oh, Laura's out there. Okay, I can't see you. So,
Yeah, it's been about 6 years for me.
all right. So this, let me ask all of you, is this church a solid part of your life? Anybody can answer, it doesn't matter.
Well, I read the Daily Word practically every day, and remind myself that the essence of me is spirit. So in that sense, I would say, that church is a part of my life every day.
Right, right. Anyone else?
I post the Daily Word every day on our Facebook page, so it's one of the first things I read every morning.
Right. Well, I've been doing this myself. My wife and I have both been since the 90s.
Oh, I've been in.
Well, longer than that, but
70s for me.
yeah, like 80s for me. So And then in the 90s, I started coming to church, and I keep coming back, and that's one of the questions. So what keeps you coming back? Anyone?
Um,
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah, we're
can.
Okay. What
So
keeps
you
me
can answer
coming
both
back? You
questions.
guys.
Okay. Well, so you're living the principle, the fifth principle,
Sometimes.
because it's not enough to understand the spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. So we're going to get to that in a little bit more here. So what principle have you used to work on a problem in your life? And is this problem solved or work in progress? Versus offer something. And I can repeat the principles if you want, but
I've got them all typed up in the chat and on YouTube for those that are watching via YouTube.
so anybody that's used a principle that they can think of a situation and maybe consciously or unconsciously use the principles that we profess here in Unity to help you get through that situation.
right.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Practicing. I heard you talking about patience earlier.
Yeah.
I am moving. I was expecting to be done in my new place by now. I have yet to sign the lease, and I'm just really frustrated. So to practice that patience and walk the talk and not, react
Right.
has been my challenge lately.
So does knowing that the principles that work and that they actually are something that are real, at least I believe they are, does that help you?
Yes, most of the time when I choose to let them.
Okay.
when I choose to follow step 5 or
Yeah.
and walk that walk rather than just talking.
Exactly. Get the dog speaking. Apparently he's practicing the principles. Wants to say something, so.
Oh, just that especially lately, the thoughts held in mind produced after their kind. Everything from
You should stand up.
what we've been doing. He says you can't see me because I'm too short. Everything from what we've been doing at the house, which is, you have an idea and then you unfortunately have to put it into action. So on a physical sense, I've done a lot of that lately, but also just in personal things, life direction. Where do we want to be 5 years from now? And we're actually really actively working towards that. And I get up every morning and try to put that goal back in my mind, regardless of what's going on, so that I can take the steps that day that I need to take to start manifesting it. So I think that's the principle that I'm really trying to nail down for myself lately, is that what I'm thinking is what's going to be. So guarding my thoughts is a biggie for me right now.
All right. How about Cindy? Anything from Cindy or Mark?
Yeah, I had a friend had to talk her off the ledge this past week through some frustrations at work, and we were discussing, the thoughts held in mind and the things, she was feeling. I'm like, remember what you put out there is what's going to come back at you. So be aware of what you're thinking and what you're wanting to put in front of you.
Right. And so one of the principles is that prayer and meditation thing. How about that? Anyone practicing their meditation every day or pretty regularly, or how's that going?
I use an app that is an alarm at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. to at least take those moments for a brief meditation.
Oh, great.
That's a good idea.
Anyone else?
Yes, I do daily meditation as well.
Yeah.
At least once a day, sometimes even more. Sometimes even
Yeah,
more.
exactly. Yeah, so
Also,
go ahead.
I'd like to just share, you mentioned about where it says every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. And I'm reminded of many years ago when I was challenged with cancer of the prostate. And I used to repeat to myself, I probably repeated to myself a couple thousand times, the nature of every cell in my body is spirit, and spirit is perfect. And spirit is perfect. And like, I'm happy to say that the whole thing of the prostate challenge is behind me at this point.
Right.
Yeah, so recognizing that the cells in our body, the nature of every cell in our body is, as you say here, is happy and well.
Yes, exactly. I think Nora wants to say something. She looks like she wants.
Mhm.
Well, I'm with Morris. It's just that, being grateful when I consider that 2 years ago in 1 week, I fell off a ladder and, just to walk or to stand up just to be living hurt. And so, and that fracture will never go away, but I've come, if you would have told me 2 years ago where I'd be today, I would have said, no way. And so just knowing that and saying that, the prayer and meditation and being grateful because and affirming that patience with moving, patience with staying well and not overdoing it and taking care of myself. So that's, I probably use them more without really thinking that that's what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, I think that's probably would describe myself as well. I think what we're saying here, this force of love and wisdom that underlines all existence, kind of resonates with what you just said, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. And that's knowing that, after all these years, you begin to know the truth, you begin to understand it, you begin to use it, and you start putting these conscious things into. It's a matter of being conscious of, who we are is more important almost than, reading the book, I think. It's learning. The words help, but, it's something that happens automatically. I don't think it's, it doesn't happen overnight. I know that when my first encounter with Unity, my mom started sending me the daily word. I was going to talk about that in a minute here, but she started sending me the daily word. I was in my drug haze and she started sending me the daily word, and I was like, this is pretty cool, so it really helped me get through a really tough time in my life. And then eventually I wound up in Al-Anon and then going to a Unity church because the Al-Anon meeting was at the Unity church, and oh, this place looks cool, let's try this. And never turned back since. But I was reading Daily Word and the Unity magazine pretty much daily, and understand it really helped knowing these principles. So anyway, I guess we can move on from there. So let me talk about a little bit something here. The Course in Miracles states that the body is a learning device. So all your senses are body functions. What do they tell you? The senses create your experience of this place and the people who are here. Your mind interprets the experience into perception. So your body is a learning device. So backing up. So what's happening there? I'm learning these principles through this. That's what it really is about. And I think that if you negate the body in your spiritual experience, that's not necessarily a good thing. We might say, well, I'm just spirit. Well, no, you're not really. You are mind, body, and spirit. You're connected. Neil Donald Walsh covers that. He says that the body and spirit are one thing. It's not like a separate, well, the body's over here and the spirit's over there and the mind is out there somewhere. That's not the way this thing works. Do I understand it? No, but I'm not sure anybody does, So how is your body teaching you to live? There's a question. Any answers?
It hurts when I overdo it and don't listen to it.
Amen to that. Amen.
Pretty simple.
There you go. There you go. I'm not trying to make this complicated. It's really pretty damn simple. You know, you are in this body, you are in this world, you are here right now, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is to learn these principles, I think. I think it's not about anything else. We're all just learning. None of us, I don't have all the answers. I mean, no, hell no, I don't have all the answers. You know, I struggle every day sometimes with stuff that I don't understand. I get handed, well, do a sermon. Okay, great. You know, I got clay feet too. You know, I sometimes fail. Sometimes I fall flat on my face. But then because of these principles, I'm able to get back up. And I think that's really the key. As Nora pointed out earlier, you know, it's like, did I think I would be here, you know, doing this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, doing this? Really? Huh? What is this? You know, did any of us in this room and in this particular session really think that what was going on today would be happening ever? You know, probably not. You know, especially looking at the news or whatever, you wonder, what? You know, it's a tough time for everybody. And then we have the COVID and we have this and that, all these things going on at the same time. But you know what? These principles still work. And you know what? These principles are still going to get you through somehow. And I think, you know, I need to remind myself. I can't speak for all of you, but I can certainly remind myself that I need to know what these principles are so that I can use them in my daily life. That's what unity is about. It's not about when you die, you're going to go to heaven. Well, probably, but that's not really what we're about. And hopefully folks that might be new to this, that don't really understand what's unity, what's different about that. That's what's different. What's different is it's useful in your daily life. It's not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, or it's to say, you know, Hail Mary 27 times. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. And if it works for you, that's great. But this is, in a way, easier because it's common sense. Today there are those who want you to feel guilty about things that happened hundreds or even thousands of years ago. The truth is you cannot change the past or even its present effects. According to Unity teachings, God keeps no record of wrongs that we perceive or imagine. God loves and creates. Guilt comes from fear. There is no sin that God cannot forgive. It's called grace. So no matter what they tell you, you're not guilty of all this stuff that's going on. You didn't do it. You can own what you are capable of responding to. I guess we did a seminar at the church one time, and it was all about responsibility. And the word response is the key there. There's reaction, and then there's response. Now, reaction is just like the doctor hits your knee, you know, with a hammer, and your knee just goes boing. Your mind you don't think about it. It just happens. So sometimes things happen to us, and we just react. We don't really respond. Responding is a thoughtful process. You're sitting there and going, what should I do about this? What should I be doing about this at this moment? What can I do about this in this moment? And can I, it's a thought process. It's responding. So you become responsible for your actions and for those consequences. And every action has a consequence. So if you're quote unquote guilty of doing something, well, then you should have, if you're the person that did it, then you are guilty of doing something. But if you're not the person who did it, you're not. And so sometimes we need to pull back and go, wait a minute. I'm coming from either two places. The Course in Miracles says there's two places to come from, love and fear. That's it. So when someone's telling you you've sinned about something, how's that even possible? There is no sin. No thing that God will not forgive. And we need to learn to forgive ourselves for that which we've done, and to recognize that which we have not done is not our responsibility. Can we help in those situations? Can we make changes to make our world a better place? Absolutely. So I'm not denying that idea, but I am denying this idea that I'm guilty of something I didn't do. And if some people want to accept guilt for something they didn't do, that's on them. It's not on me. It's not on you. And we need to stop this. And I believe in our society of the blame game. It doesn't help anybody. You know, what happened 400 years ago, 5,000 years ago, whatever. Hey, I'm from Greece, okay? My family's Greek. You know, 2,000 years ago, there was all kinds of stuff going on there, you know. And what can I do about it? Nothing. The past is gone. I can't change the past. I can pretend it's not there. I can rewrite it. I can blow it up. I can do all kinds of things to try to erase the past, but the past is still gone. It's just like waving at nothing. And we need to stop doing that, I think, in our society, and we need to call it and say, I'm not buying that. Anyone can change their thoughts, lives, and experience. The fact that we are all children of God. The fact is that we are all children of God, and we can change our life experience anytime we wish. We are spirit. So it's up to you to change your life. It's not up to someone else. It's not about the government or the politics or any of that. It's not even about religion. It's about your life. Your life is religion. Your life is this fifth principle in action. You know, your truth is what it is your truth. And we need to, you know, I need to accept that truth and say, okay, this is my truth. And I'm going to try to live that truth as best I can. And I'm going to live my beliefs as best I can. That's all we can really do. And I can't change the mistakes I made. I can't do it. I can try not to make those same mistakes again, but I cannot change a mistake I made 20 years ago. It's just not helpful. We can even engage in experience taking place somewhere else, like now on your computer or other device, okay? So, you know, what you can change is today, right now. I can decide to make a different choice in my life, regardless of what that choice might be, and know for sure that the future will in fact be different. Because why? I made a different choice today. Not because I try to make a choice different than when I graduated high school or something. That's not going to help me. I can't ungraduate high school. I can't change the career path I've chosen. You know, I chose to be a musician. Well, they told me I couldn't do that in high school. You can't do that. You have to have a regular job. Well, they were kind of right, but they didn't know everything, because I'm still a musician and I still make money playing music, and I've done it most of my life. But they told me I couldn't do it. What? Yeah, I can. As Morris said, you know, he's got cancer. A lot of people would say, well, you can't overcome that. That's not going to work. And he did. And we know, and thankfully today, we know a lot more people will overcome that particular health condition. So how do you live the truth you know? And I think we kind of talked about that already. I believe this is a daily challenge, knowing that takes some effort. I have to study the teachings to be able to identify the truth within them. So I need to look at these teachings and try to identify, how can I use this? Because it's not the unity is not a religion of, you know, theory. It's really a religion of practice. It's a daily practice. It's you're changing your life. It changes your lifestyle. It changes the way you look at life. And everything is that. Everything is that. In Course in Miracles, it's called a perception. Everything is your perception. So how you see something is very important. You can't just deny that you're seeing it in a certain way. And you can't pretend that that doesn't exist inside you. You know, your spirit, your gut knows what's right and what's wrong. You don't have to be told. We're adults now. And that's the other thing about unity. I believe unity is a very adult religion. It's more geared to people that want to take responsibility, again, for their own lives, not try to find some other, you know, excuse, or, you know, God's going to come and fix it, or, you know, God's inside of you. God's not somewhere out. And God's in the universe too, but God's not just in the universe. God's in here and there and everywhere, which is a lot of my music is about that idea of, you know, of this God being right here, right now, not 1,000 years from now, and not in heaven, and not in some other place. And so we already covered that most of you get the daily word. I don't know. Yeah. If not, I highly recommend that you try that. If you're not getting it right now, get the daily word. I'm not here to sell daily words. I'm here to let you know that the ideas expressed in the daily words can help you daily. Okay. Sometimes it seems like I'll pick it up and I'll read something, and I'm sure all of you have experienced this at some point or another. I'll pick it up and read it and go, okay, you're talking about me right now, right? I mean, yeah. I see Nora nodding there. You completely identify the instant that you
Yep.
read that. You go, wow, how did you know I was having this problem? Well, the person that wrote it didn't know you're having this problem, but God knows, and you know. And the reason that you're experiencing what you're experiencing is because God is in charge of your life. You have allowed God to take charge of your life. You're not denying God any longer. When you deny God, everything kind of goes, well, crappy. It's the best way I can say it. But if I accept God, and if I accept God in my life, and I'm open to what God has to tell me through my body, through my experience, through my learning, through my studies, through all the things that I do to try to make my life better, guess what? It gets better. I mean, my life is 1,000% better than I ever imagined it could be. And I'm 71 years old now, and I feel great, as the guy with the, what's his name? I don't know. He turns himself upside down, that guy. That Teeter guy, yeah, him. You might discover you know more than you think. And that was something I wanted to mention too. Is, you probably do know more than you think you know. You see a situation, you understand it more now, because why? You're looking at it through a set of glasses, if you will, that Unity has given you to see the truth and to live the truth. Again, it's not enough to understand the spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. So spiritual teaching is over here, but all it is like, it's a guideline. It's a support for you. It's there to help you. And Unity is there to help you understand you and understand how you relate to other people and how you can change your life, and who the people are you don't want to associate with anymore, and who the people are that you want to associate with. And I've discovered I like Unity people. I love it. So try to answer some of the questions I presented today and see what you come up with. You write it down if you like. Maybe that could be an exercise. Everybody write down, say 4 or 5 things. Now that we've had a chance to talk about it, where you've used that Unity principle and you've been successful with it, and share that with someone. Share it with someone who maybe you want to invite to church. I know you don't want to hear about church, but guess what? This happened to me because I studied these principles, and I learned something from this church experience that I gained something. It's been worthwhile. It's been something that's made my life full and rich and happy. And that's what we really want. We all get sick. We all have problems. We all have, disasters in our lives that come up. Okay. It's not easy. You all know that. You're sitting here in front of your computer today. Maybe some of you got a few aches and pains going on, whatever. But you know what? I'm still happier. I'm still feeling better than I was a while ago. I've overcome some things as well, as Morris talked about. I've overcome that particular issue, but not quite that extreme. But okay, because why? Because I use the principles. I'm open to new ideas. I'm open to change. I'm open to forgiving me, for all the stuff I did wrong when I was young and when I didn't understand. But the principles helped me to understand that. The principles have helped me to grow as a person. And that's really what this is all about. So let's take a minute and let's do a little meditation here. Let's recognize that God is present in us, through us. God knows me. God knows you. God knows all of us. Because we are all what? Children of God. We are all His. Or hers if you prefer. We cannot be separate from God. There is no way to do that. God is everywhere. God is in everything. And as I look into my spirit, I see that I am, in fact, one of God's spiritual children. And that will never change. That is an eternal fact of life. God will always be there. And I am always here with you, as God has said, as it says in the Bible. I am always with you. So go forth today with your eyes open and see the world clearly and see the truth that you are expressing as a divine, wonderful child of God. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to do something a little different today. Usually I play original music, but this time I'm going to. And as I explained to my wife, this is one of the first songs I ever recorded. I was 16 years old. Remember the days where you could go in and make a recording? You know, I don't know how old, some of you probably wouldn't remember that, but there used to be, you could go in and make a recording, and it was because we didn't have access to all this recording tape equipment that you can purchase today. You can buy something today and do an entire album of your own music for several $100. Well, there was nothing like that when I was growing up. But they had these booths in like Jolly Roger's restaurant or something, and you all pile in, and we all piled in and we sang the song. And we did it with some harmony. Well, I'm going to do it by myself and kind of updated the version here, so I'm going to give it a run. And I don't do it very often, so if I mess up, just bear with me. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe. I believe the smallest prayer can still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why I believe. Then I know why I believe. Then I know why I believe.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. All right, now is time for our offering. And as you prepare your tithes and love offerings today, think about how blessed you are. And as you are writing your check or giving your gift, send your blessings out. And we have two ways to get for you to send in your donations. That is for our P.O. Box and on our website, www.unitybremerton.org, and select the Make a Donation tab. And our offertory blessing: divine love in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. All right, we'll open it all back up for good news. Is there any good news anybody wants to share?
A couple of things I have. As Pastor Joanna Gabriel mentioned last week about the ripening blackberries, and I must say that I'm very happy for that.
Right?
I pick them and eat them right off the vine practically every day. And then the second thing is just going out for peaceful walks every day. It's very, very fulfilling. I find it very fulfilling.
And we've had some very beautiful weather to go along with those beautiful walks.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, anybody else? Fran, did you say you had some good news?
Yeah, I have two pieces of good news. Number one, and the biggest one for us, is the remodeling is done.
Yay!
No more painting, no more hammering, no more sweeping up messes from it. The other one is that our granddaughter, McKenna, the one that lived with us for a couple of years, is going to come for a visit next week, for which she managed to pay half of it herself. I guess she's working with her father, and she said, Grandma, I know that you always pay for everything, but this time I have money and I want to help. So
Nice.
get her for a week.
Awesome.
Yay.
Anybody else have any good news to share? All right, well, let's go on. We'll finish off today. We'll do some fellowship afterwards.
On earth, let it
Begin.
let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God as creator.
Family harmony. Let us work with each other.
Let this be our home.
With every step
Let this be my joy.
To take
All right, let's try this all together, shall we? The
The
light
light
of God surrounds us.
the
The
love
love
of God
enfolds
holds us.
the
power
power
of
of
God
protects
Protects us.
and the
the
presence of
Presence
God
of God
watches
watches
over
over us.
wherever
Wherever
we
we
are.
are,
God
God
is,
is
and
and
all
all
is
is
well.
well.